Hey YouTube, Frank Carlino for Quick Poker, and we're going to go over some crazy hands today. Let's get started. We open the button, Ace King. We get 3-bet, and I decide to 5-bet huge because this guy was a crazy boy. I just jammed the flop. I guess I felt the pot was big enough, and he calls with an 8 and a 6. Now, I really love this hand because it's a bluff that actually worked. Now, keep in mind, I think this player is a good player, and that's why I did it. If I didn't think he was good, I wouldn't have done it. Ladies and gentlemen, alert the media. Someone in the United States of America actually folded when I didn't have anything. So, he 3-bets the flop, and I jam. I thought he was raising from the dynamic and not his cards. This is just a hand where I make a super sick read on the turn. So villain over here limped. I got to c-bet this flop. I got to shut down on that. Looks like my 8s are no good here, right? And I don't know how I did that, but I must have some sort of super sick read on him. He had a 9 and a 10. Here's a little hand that's going to illustrate that poker is not dead. Not in 2020, not in 2021, and not in 2022. So, obviously at higher stakes, you might not see stuff like this, but you know what? You might. What does this guy have? Does he have the 4? He's got a 2 and a 3. Now, here's 3 hands that all happen against the same player. Small blind raised the 10s. He 3-bets. I 4-bet the 10s. Now, you're not going to see too many 4-bets, obviously, in these low-limit games. And you really shouldn't be. You can 4-bet with 10s, but you don't see it that often. I did it because of the dynamic here, and that's what gets me paid. Because once I 4-bet the 10s, and then the flop comes, he calls, the flop comes this. He actually wound up having diamonds, and then he catches a pair, and he just got pot committed. So it was my 4-bet pre that got all the money in. This is the same guy now. He's on his 3rd buy-in or something. He raises under the gun. I have the kings, and I'm going to 3-bet. So he calls that. So now take notice of the flop. So I actually check my overpair on the flop, which is a huge money move. Because if he has me beat with a set, he's going to bet small or check. And if he has a hand he has to protect, he's going to bet big. So once he bets big, I basically can put him on exactly something like ace 10, queen 10, king, probably not king 10. And then I just jam and he just calls it off. So it was my check on the flop because if I just bet, he probably just calls. I don't get the check raise in, and it's a whole different story. So my checking the overpair on the flop, because once he bets, a pot-sized bet, he's making a protection bet. And he's going to make a protection bet with the type of hands that overpairs are ahead of. If the type of hand that overpairs are behind, he's not going to make that big of a bet. He's not going to need as much protection. So when you see that pot-sized bet on the flop, you're probably ahead. So now we just have to show me losing a hand because I never do that, and it's not fair. So this is the same guy. I have the aces. I try checking it again. He doesn't go for it. Now I bet the turn, and he min raises. And now I'm in bluff catching mode. He winds up betting 6, and I'm deliberating forever. I had the ace of spades in my hand, giving him less flushes. I know because I block it doesn't mean he can't have it. So I deliberated a long time. Could he have a 4? Could he actually have me beat with something? I deliberate, and I make the wrong move and call. And he had a full house, and he flopped it. You notice how when he had a full house on this flop, he checked.